Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Novita Wahidah. I will explain the last material from critical theory book about cultural industry in the high stage of capitalism, commercialism, and consumerism. Without any further ado, let's move to the 6 topics for discussions. Number 1 is the concept and context of cultural industry. Number 2 is the aspect included within the concept and context of cultural industry. Number 3 is science, art, and literature are also product of cultural industry. Number 4 is the strategies of cultural industry. Number 5 is a linkage between cultural industry, capitalism, commercialism, and consumerism. And the last one is cultural industry as mass decisions. Let's jump to the first topic, the concept and context of cultural industry. The concept of cultural industries embraces industries that combine the creations, productions, and commercializations of creative content which can have the form of a good or a service. System originated from the concept of cultural industry that was conceptualized by critical theorists Theodor Adorno and Max Horkheimer. They maintain that mass media had negative effects on people. Adorno and Horkheimer focused on music, film, and television and argued that citizens forget their own reality and thus become easily manipulated. They argued that mass media had entertainment as an objective because entertainment is meant to be an agreement, and to be in agreement is possible only by insulating itself from the totality of the social process. And here the approaches of cultural industry. Today's cultural industry is very much embedded in us in our daily life. Its scope is very broad not only in art and literature, whatever we wear, live in, even the smallest things. These cultural industries include among others TV, radio, newspaper, magazines, books, internet, movies, and recorded music. Based on the perspective of Adorno and Horkheimer, described that the culture industry, which consists of film, radio, music, book, TV, and press, are no longer pretending to be art. And here the reason why science, art, and literature are also products of cultural industry. The cultural industry is firmly entrenched and has even become an entertainment business in people's lives, and that entertainment is their ideology under capitalism. Actually, the whole world is made to pass through the filter of the cultural industry. The cultural industry also as a whole has molded man as a type unfailingly reproduced in every product. At first, literature was perceived as inherently respectable, but when literature entered the industry, when paper, ink, and others had to be purchased, literary works became very popular. Literature lost its dignity to make people know the great value. The writers criticized the government, but in order to criticize, in order to be heard, they had to sell books since the literature which was inherently populist at first. And here is the strategies of cultural industry. In simple terms, the cultural industry can be defined as a culture that has undergone commodifications and industrializations. What is presented to the audience has been regulated by the agents who play a role, and production is done only for profit. The cultural industry, which carries the works of art as packaging for its products, turned out to be more concerned with the economic aspect of capitalist rationality than to bring enlightenment to society. Art is supposed to be an enlightenment for humanity, but the cultural industry, in Adorno and Horkheimer's view, has instead led to a decline in individual autonomy or a regression to the true meaning of enlightenment. Adorno and Horkheimer argue that the rationality of technology is the rationality of domination itself. Furthermore, they consider that the presence of the cultural industry in society has eroded human values as a whole, whereas humans are only valued as objects to gain profit, be it buyers and workers. And then next is a linkage between cultural industry, capitalism, commercialism, and consumerism. Cultural industry is a term describing a group of economic activities which are based on the formations of highly specialized service and which products are formed in a known creative productive process and therefore have a high symbolic value. Capitalism is an economic system in which trade, industry, and the means of production are controlled by private owners within the aim of making profits in a market economy. And then commercialism is the application of both manufacturing and consumptions towards personal usage or the practices, methods, aims, and spirit of free enterprise geared toward generating profit. And commercialism can also refer positively or negatively to corporate dominations. And consumerism is a social and economic order that encourages that acquisitions of goods and service in ever increasing amounts. Currently, the whole world is meant to pass through the filter of the cultural industry. Referring to the various business that products, the system has been exploited for the benefit. The culture industry as a whole has molded man as a type infinitely reproduced in every product, and the fashions of culture and the entertainment that is taking place today leads not only to a deprivation of culture, but inevitably to an intellectualization of amusement. Everyone who enjoys these products and entertainment is a consumer who has been fooled by the capitalist. The last one is cultural industry as mass deceptions. The deception is not that the cultural industry supplies amusement, but that it tries defined by allowing business considerations to involve it in the ideological glitch of a culture in the process of self-liquidations. Even so, industrialized may wax indignant at capitalism, but it cannot renounce the threat of castrations. A clear example of this mass fraud is that behind the sale of products, Shopee, Lazada, and others, what people see is a matter of buying and selling, even though the money they spend is for the benefit of capitalism. Actually, artist is the object that is being exploited by the producers, and the news is produced with maybe for mass fooling. That's all for me. I'm sorry for my mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.